I just had never been part of something so huge, so I didn't know how we were going to film it at all. And then hearing they wanted to do as much practical, I was like, but how? There's like people on fire. They're like, yeah, we're going to set them on fire. I was like, okay. I've done a lot of CGI, visual effects stuff, having played a superhero. Like, I've talked to a tennis ball in a lot of scenes, and it's just hard. And while you can do it, like, this makes it so much more genuine, and I feel like easier. Because when you're standing next to someone who's actually on fire, there's not much acting to be had.
You kind of know instinctually how to react when seeing
scream,
somebody
run,
next to you.
great.
Yeah. One thing that myself and so many fans of this franchise love is the fact that it really just ruins everyday activities.
And that's the goal.
That's the goal. That's what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
I imagine most things I do probably could lead,
But you're okay with you have a comfort in that.
I'm wildly optimistic about how things are going to turn out for me. Things just keep on going my way.
So you're the Mr. Magoo. You just keep walking through disaster after disaster. Yeah.
That was such a beautiful comparison. Richard is just like Mr. Magoo.
And that's what you call me, you know? I'm Mr. Magoo.
When you come on the set, people are like, here's Mr. Magoo.
There's Magoo again.
Mr. Magoo, yeah.
Magoo.
All of mine have already been used. I feel like I don't do anything unique enough to not have been used already. I for a while I was doing aerial silks, and I feel like that has a pretty high.
That would be a brutal.
I can't believe you've never told us that you were doing aerial silk.
I can't believe you didn't know just by looking at me.
Yeah, kind of doing my hair with hot tools scares me.
Yeah.
It's hot, the heat. I don't know why it scares me. I know why it scares me. Anything plugged in, anything electric, and it's hot, that scares me.
And in the bathroom, and water
bathroom,
running.
water.
And
That's what I'm saying. See, I've been saying this. Water next to electrical cords is mortifying for me.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought about this until you said that just now, but I'm a jump roper, and suddenly you asked that question. I was like, my jumping rope is questionable, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe stay away from staircases. Also,
I'm not really good on staircases anyway. So that's mine.
I'm a rock climber, and recently I actually had a near-death, not near-death, but a Final Destination experience.
You did?
That's why I screwed up my arm. That's why I wasn't going to be able to bowl.
That's the injury?
That was the injury.
You were supposed to go bowling, and he couldn't.
I fell from the top of a bouldering wall, and I hurt my elbow. So now I'm a little bit worried about that now.
Sure, yeah. Now that's going to permanently be in back of your
You should
head.
maybe have been worried about that anyway.
Right.
I'm just going to say that's slightly on the extreme. But
yeah.
Sure.
But I actually had to go get an MRI while we were filming, and I was not kidding, full on panicking the entire time. And it was a 3-hour MRI, and the doctor kept coming up he's like, you're really freaking out, you're moving too much, am I gonna have to take you out? And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. So now I have a deathly fear, no pun intended, of MRIs. Revolving doors. I live in New York, so that's an everyday occurrence for me. And now I'm like, is there a normal door I can walk through, please?
We call that what can we ruin for people?
Right, there you go.
Which is basically very relatable things, like you said. Everyday things, a penny, a cup. How can we ruin it so that you can never look at that thing again? Basically like the second movie did for logs. It's like how you can never look at a truck again the same way after seeing, if you see someone parking behind a logging truck on a highway, they haven't seen Final Destination. And so 100%. We wanted to kind of take that approach to everything that we could in the movie.
If you could trade a death sequence with one of your co-stars, who would it be?
I will just say that there is a person who dies very towards the end of the film with almost no rigmarole or special effects. And just for simplicity, just because of all of the technical stuff I did have to do, I would trade with that one. Just
have an easier
candle
day.
Snuffed out. Yeah, exactly. Just have an easier day.
I would go with I think that the last death in this movie is so satisfying and beautiful. It's almost like poetry. I'm picking that one.
Good stuff. I think I would take, without saying anyone or who it is.
No, talk about it.
I don't think I'm allowed to.
Go into detail.
I would switch with someone who is blonde and is sitting in this room, so you can figure that out for yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, they're not even in front of the camera. They're actually over there.
well, none of us die in it.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we all
No one
live.
dies? I was so different in the movie then.
We did actually, if we could, we tried to show up for each other's death scenes
Yeah.
because they're fun as hell to watch.
It felt like a birthday.
Yeah.
literally.
And they're intense. I mean, it was really, they were good days on set.
I would love to be a part of the opening sequence. That would be cool of the movie. Yeah.
When I signed on to the role, I had no idea what my role was. Truly, I didn't know anything out of the context of like my 3 pages of audition scenes. When I got cast in the film that night, I went back. Actually, it was my first time ever fully watching a Final Destination movie because I'm a scaredy cat. With my whole family, they came over, we watched the first movie, and they're like, well, what's your part in it? And I was like, I don't know. So when I got the script and when I saw I was gonna be part of that like big opening Premonition disaster, I was like, heck freaking yeah. I was just so excited to get started.
When we got started, I think there was a different disaster in the opening. But the team, the producers and the writers were so eager to brainstorm and come up with new stuff. And the thing that we started with really was, what is a visceral fear that we can tap into that can really freak people out? And we came up with this fear of heights, which is something that I suffer from. And so it was really fun to be able to exploit that and make the audience feel it on a big IMAX screen that they're 400 feet in the air and in danger.
Sure.
Richard is actually he plays a background character.
He's an Easter egg.
Oh, nice.
He showed up in like a little
60s.
bellhop outfit.
Yeah.
That's great.
You could see him maybe. I don't know if you could see him.
I don't think he made the cut.
I don't think he made the cut either, but he tried. We all tried. He was there for support.
There you go. Speaking with the trio in the other room, they actually mentioned something interesting about you, which is that you apparently have a little cameo beyond your role in the main film.
They said that? I wasn't supposed to be there. That's why I was like, guys, I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Richard is playing me in my.
Yeah. There you go. And now the cat's out of the bag.
No, seriously, can you tell me about it?
I'm in the 60s.
I'm in.
You never see my face. I just walked through.
Yeah.
And when they first get to the sky view, I run out of the place.
And he pitched himself for every scene in the movie. He was trying to get into every single one.
In the middle of our
and
scenes.
they were like, finally, they were like, okay, you can have one other one.
I'm playing all 3 of us right now.
Mission Impossible style.
Some people might say this is unprofessional, but I felt like it made sense for my character. I actually didn't read the entire script because I felt like my character wouldn't know outside of like, I read up until the part where like I come back and I stop the disaster, but I didn't know what was going on with them because I didn't think it was essential for my character to know. And I actually haven't even seen the entire movie yet. I'm seeing it on Monday and I like can't wait. I've heard them like say little stories from their part and I'm like, that happens? That's crazy.
Maybe that's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
One thing that's never just been addressed is the origin of the psychic visions and why these people are having these previews. In your mind, do you have an answer for why that is?
No, and I'll tell you exactly why. If we answer how they happen, that means that you, as an audience member, may never have it. You might not have that moment. I would much rather have it be a mystery so that you never know whether you are capable or whether it may happen to you. It's sort of like in midichlorians in Star Wars. Oh, I can't be a Jedi now. Why would you not want to be a Jedi? So we want everyone to leave the theater thinking, what if I have a premonition tomorrow? And I'm perfectly capable of it because you never know when and you never know where.
Do you almost project a personality on death to a certain degree?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, can you describe that whole part of the process?
Death is so damn clever and has a great sense of humor. I think that's why Final Destination is also very funny. It's gory, it's intense, it's scary, but it's also kind of hilarious. And that's because death is so clever and funny. Has a sense of irony, likes to plant things and then pay them off later. And for us, that was such a joy because in a way, there's no antagonist besides the shots that make up death's presence. So in a way, we as the filmmakers are death. We get to create that personality through the way we're building the shot design.
Sure.
So that was a lot of fun to play with.
How do you think time has almost affected the audience's relationship with the franchise as well?
Wow, Eric, that's a great question because I think the distance between the release of the last one and now, social media has taken off. And since everyone has a phone in their pocket that can both film video and take pictures, Final Destination moments become their own meme. Like everyone can have a close call and take a picture of it and post it. So we became a hashtag. We became like Xerox, and it became a shorthand for people having a moment of deja vu or a close call. And every day people are generating memes that are personal to them. So we never quite left the popular lexicon. We were always there. Yeah. And over time, it made us realize that there was not just big opportunity, but our audience has sort of grown from the people that are your or my age who remember going early on, and now there are younger kids who just know it necessarily as, oh, Final Destination, that's like Close Calls and like a log truck and things. But now they can either explore the franchise up to this point, or they can just go see Final Destination Bloodlines on its own because the movie exists as just a story. Now, there's lots of fun Easter eggs for the people who are fans, but you don't have to have the experience of watching the previous 5 to thoroughly enjoy Final Destination Bloodlines.
I'm curious if you guys have realized the 25th anniversary that is coming up this week.
Yeah, May 14th.
May 16th. For the 25th anniversary of Flight 180.
Yeah, that's right.
I got this feeling. I saw Death's plan.
Was there any purposefulness in the release date by any chance, or is that just complete coincidence?
There was some talk of it. I mean, it ended up being just fate delivering this movie at the right time.
But you can also see May 13th within the film itself in several different places.
Yeah.
Those numbers, are an omen of things.
Just kind of like the 180 and very cool.
It was a huge opportunity and kind of challenge with this movie to make a movie for fans like the three of us that would really be satisfying, but also for a new generation that has never seen a Final Destination movie. The last one came out 14 years ago, so a 4-year-old at the time is now 18, and they might be going to see their first Final Destination movie next weekend. So it was something we wanted to really explore for the fans, fill the movie with lots of answers and Easter eggs. Every license plate in the movie, every little note written in the margins of a book, everything on the walls of the tattoo parlor are all Easter eggs that we've put in for the fans. But if you don't get those things, you still can enjoy the movie just the same.
Good luck.